Hey guys, in this video we'll demonstrate how to change clothes during animation using uDraper. There are two ways to change clothes on an avatar during an animation sequence. First, by enabling or disabling specific garments, and the second is by explicitly specifying garment folders. Let's start with the first option. If you find it too complicated, jump to the second option using the time codes. Let's start by adding Draper garments to our character. We can add one and then simply copy and paste to add more entries. For convenience, we change the names and add specific garments to each component. We call this one a dress. Let's disable it and add another one. Next one will be a tank top. We select a folder and we disable it for now. Next one is a jumpsuit. Let's disable it as well. This way we add garments that we are going to change during our animation. When we add garments imported from OBJ files without simulations, you can expect to get a message reporting that this garment can be simulated. We click OK and we'll use them just with wrapping. Now let's open our animation sequence. In this scenario, the avatar drives a car, then exits the car, walks and runs. First, we need to add garment component trucks and events trigger truck for them. We also need to add the Draper simulation truck and events trigger truck for it as well. Let's say, for instance, that when Harley exits the car, we want to change her outfit to the jumpsuit with the tank top underneath. So we need to add trigger events for the currently active clothes and the ones we are going to show next. We want the new garments to be enabled, simulated, and have a certain order. So let's open Director's Blueprint and add a custom event and call it Change Garment. In the Details panel, let's add a couple of Boolean variables. Let's call them Enable and Simulate. We also need an integer for the order parameter. And finally, for the Draper garment component. We call it garment. Now we can simply add set functions for each of our variables. Enable, order, and simulate. Save and compile our director's blueprint. Now back to our sequencer. Right-click on an event, select Properties, Quick Find, this sequence, call functions, and select our newly created Change Garment function. Then we right-click on the event again and select our options. We want this jumpsuit to be enabled, simulated, and be above the tank top, so we set up its order as 1. The leggings are going to be disabled, so we should call our change garment function but leave the enable option unchecked. The tank top is going to be enabled and simulated, but it should be under the jumpsuit, so we set its order number to 0. After we configure our clothes, we need to reload the Draper simulation. So we step to the next frame and add a new event for the Draper simulation events truck. Right-click on the event and bind it to the Draper simulation reload function. Unreal Editor will create a new event in the director's blueprint automatically. Let's rename it to Reload Draper. Now we can test the result. We click Play the level to activate the simulation and start our animation sequence. We see that the outfit changed, but we forgot to disable the bodysuit. So we go back and bind the bodysuit event to our change garment function. By default, the garment will be disabled. Playing the level again, and this time the clothes changed correctly. And the new outfit is simulated. As you can see, we move the clothes with our cursor. Now we want Harley to change the outfit again and wear the red dress. So we add a new event for the dress events truck and bind it to our change garment function. Then we need to specify that it should be enabled and simulated. The order can be 0 because the dress will be the only garment on the avatar. At the same time, the jumpsuit and the tank top should be disabled the same way we did for the cyberpunk suit earlier. Again, we step to the next frame and add an event to the Draper simulation events truck and bind it to our reload simulation function that we set up earlier. As you can see, the dress didn't position well on the fast-moving avatar in real time. Evidently, when playing animation in real time, Unreal Engine doesn't wait for the simulation reload to complete, and the animation goes ahead while the clothes can't catch up. Let's see how it will behave during movie rendering. It's better, but we still have a problem with syncing the motion with the garment change. To rectify this situation, let's add another event for this dress, one frame after the reload simulation event. We bind this event to the garment Resnap function, which is designed to return a garment to its original wrapped position on the avatar. Trying again. It works much better now. Another option to handle this issue is to add a short time dilation just for a few frames. This should slow down the animation and allow the simulation to catch up with animation after reloading garments. And this is what we've got at the end after a little editing. Now let's take a look at the second option of changing clothes during the animation by explicitly specifying garment folders. This time we're not going to add all garments at once, but rather just enough to accommodate the garments we may need at one time. Here we add just 3 garment components and call them Garment 0, Garment 1 and Garment 2. We start with the tank top and the jumpsuit, while the third garment will be unused for a while. I'm checking the order of these garments in the Draper editor list to make sure the tank top is underneath of the jumpsuit. Since we start the animation inside the car, let's turn the simulation off, and we don't care about the cloth simulation until Harley exits the car. Let's open our animation sequence and add tracks for our garments and Draper simulation, as well as the events trigger trucks. When Harley exits the car, we want to enable the close simulation, so we add events for the garment 0 and garment 1. Then we open the director's blueprint and add a custom event. Let's call it Enable Sim. And add a couple of inputs, simulation and garment. Let's add the set simulation function. Now we can bind our events to this function and then enable the simulation for these garments. Similar to the process we've discussed earlier, we need to move to the next frame and add a reload event for the Draper simulation. Again, let's rename it to Reload Simulation for the future use. Save and compile the blueprint. Let's try it out. Click play this level and then start the animation sequence. As we can see, the simulation started as expected. Now let's change our outfit to a different one. We add events to our garments trucks. Then bind the events to the reset function. This will create a new event in the director's blueprint. Let's call it Change Garment. As you can see, it takes garment folder as an input parameter. Now when we right-click the event, we have the place to specify the folder path for the new garment. Unfortunately, clicking on the triple dot button doesn't do anything, so we need to copy and paste the garment folder path into this control. We are going to assign this Harley Quinn jacket to the garment 2. So we bind this event to our change garment function and copy and paste the jacket folder path to the folder control. We are going to keep this tank top. And for the garment 1, we want to assign the Harley Quinn shorts. I accidentally created a new garment reset event, which we don't need. Let's use our existing change garment event and remove this one to avoid cluttering of our director's blueprint. We may also want to explicitly set up the order of the new garments, so we are going to add the set order function. For this reason, we need to add another integer input to the garment change function and call it order. Now we can specify the order of each new garment. The short suspenders ought to be on top of the tank top, so the order for the shorts should be 1. And the jacket should be on top of everything, so its order should be 2. For the sake of exercise, let's add a separate function to set the garment order, so we can add an event for the tank top and just set its order to 0. Again, we need to step to the next frame, add a new event for the Draper simulation, and bind it to our existing reload simulation function. Let's hit play and run the animation. Yet again, the shorts couldn't catch up with the fast-moving character. We can either bind them to the avatar or add some time dilation for a few frames when we change the clothes. This time it works without an issue. You may have noticed that when moving in real time, the clothes look blurry. It's a result of the temporal anti-aliasing. If we switch to FXAA, it will look better. We hope this tutorial will help you to create your own unique videos with changing clothes. In the next part, we'll show how to use caching for the clothes simulation. Thanks for watching. Till next time.